Rocker Pat here. Hi guys, I've been surrounded by motherfucking clowns this last few months. Alright guys, I had a request on where the hell have I been? Well, mainly I hadn't had a whole lot of hot rod stuff going on. Truth of the matter is, I kind of got into a little scuffle with my parts department and had a guy, new guy that works there, a clown. And I've been going to this O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and I go to this particular one because the warehouse is right down the road. And for the past 4 or 5 years, I've been going to this one store. I was on my 7th manager in that amount of time, and probably at the very least, I'd say at least 20 to 30 different other employees that have come and gone. Well, I got one that came in there and everything was all right until he thought everything was too cool. And I'm in there on a Saturday morning and he's talking shit about white people. And I called his ass on it and told him he needs to get that white boy shit out of his mouth, because I don't put up with that. You're gonna tell me I can't say certain things about certain races, this, that, and the other? Well, you ain't gonna call me a white boy either, and you ain't gonna call anybody I know a white boy, and you ain't gonna call any white man a white boy. Period. You're not gonna sit there and make racial comments about people in front of me and expect me to not make any comment back to you and shut you down. Well, I turned him into the district manager, and about, I don't know, I told him, I said, I ain't trying to make any major waves, but he needs to watch his mouth. Well, about a month later, I go in there on a Sunday to return a part that was given to me wrong by another guy, and to pick up a starter. Well, this guy he's in there with some other girl, and he decides he's gonna start catching an attitude with me with the old, well, where did you buy this? Do you have a receipt? And this shit, then blah, blah, blah. Now, just to put it into context, do I have a receipt is a bunch of bullshit. I have a commercial account. You know exactly who I am. But let's just put it into context here. This is my year-to-date of 2014. I spent $29,561.66 in the O'Reilly store. 2000 and what year is this? 2017. I spent $22,778 in the O'Reilly store. 2016, I spent $19,498 in the O'Reilly store. 2018, I spent another $25,000 in the O'Reilly store. That's how much I spend at the auto parts store, guys. I spend quite a bit of money. So old boy decided he wanted to start copping an attitude with me. And I told him he needed to watch his attitude, and he decided that he was going to deny me service. Now again, I just showed you how much money I spent at the O'Reilly store. So he decided he was going to deny me service and not sell me the starter that I needed, and the crank sensor I needed. Well, I reached over and I told him, I said, I'll be on the phone with your boss tomorrow morning. And he was like, do it, do it, do it. You know, the old challenging me to do something. You know, go ahead and hit me. Well, I grabbed the starter, my old starter, I grabbed this new starter, I grabbed the crank sensor that I needed that was the correct one. to replace the wrong one that I was sold the day before. And I left. The next morning, I call up corporate and report the incident. I'm expecting the manager to be in the store the next morning. I go in with the starter and expecting a refund on the crank sensor, because the crank sensor I was sold was more expensive than the crank sensor I collected. So I go in there and the manager's not there, but the assistant manager's there, the one that should have been there the day before, the one that sold me the wrong part, Mark. Well, Mark doesn't really care for me too much, because my buddy, Lee Schwinn, who gave me that 54 Bel Air 2-door hardtop, has cars parked on the property that Mark has now taken over, which Mark didn't pay for. The only reason why he has it is because his aunt, great aunt, or whoever she is, they put her in hospice in an old folks home or something, and now he's living on the property. Well, for the past 25 years or so, Lee Schwinn has been taking care of the old couple that lived next door, mowing their yard, taking them places, just basically taking care of them. Well, Mark doesn't like me because I know Lee Schwinn and I'm friends with Lee Schwinn. So when I go into the store on Monday, I start getting cussed out by Mark, another employee of O'Reilly's. Now I want you to remember exactly how much money I spend in that store. And you tell me whether you think an employee that makes less than $10 an hour should be talking to somebody that can spend that kind of money. Seriously. You think an employee should be talking to somebody that can spend that kind of money? So I leave after getting cussed at. I had to go to another store to get the part that I needed that day. Blah, blah, blah. That afternoon, Mark leaves over O'Reilly's and he goes over to Lee Schwinn and he evicts him from the property where Lee Schwinn has been storing stuff for 20-something years. Now, mind you that Lee doesn't own that property, but he has been taking care of that family for all that time. So for the past couple of months, I've been over there with Lee trying to get all these cars moved, because he had a bunch of cars and a bunch of stuff that just needed moved so he can move. He's got a 53-foot long 18-wheeler box sitting on the ground, no wheels, no frame or anything like that underneath it, just the box that he's been storing a couple of restored cars in. So it's on that guy's property, which really isn't his property, but you know, we can't argue that. If the guy says move, we got to move. So we got to get that trailer box off that property. So that's where I've been doing that. I really haven't had any car, hot rod stuff going on. I've had a lot of stuff like this going on out there. So that's what's been going on. Just, that kind of stuff. Some things that I have done around here that y'all might be interested in, I'm not 100% sure, but I took the hood off the 65, threw it on the ground, jumped on it and bounced on it and did that and this, that, and the other, and I got the big dent out of it. Those are actually the nuts that go right here, and I welded in some new weld nuts in those locations so I could get the hood back on. And now the hood's fine, it works, everything's good, didn't have to buy a hood. Haven't done anything with the Monte Carlo. This car right here is a little body damage right here. I got a massage out a dent and he hit a deer, killed a deer. This is a new customer. Other thing I did do in the last month or so is I replaced the deck on my trailer. That's all new lumber. It came out really nice. You know how nice ever a trailer can be, I guess. Replaced all that so I could actually load my tractor up on the back of it and move it around. That's painted, that's pressure treated ground contact lumber and put Rust-Oleum on all 6 sides. 54 sitting outside, got a flat tire right now. The only work I've done on it is I did cut out the passenger rocker, and I did fit the outer rocker. I haven't fit the inner rocker. I was waiting on the support that goes right there. I got it. I just haven't been back in here to work on it. And then I'll cut out a floor and fix the floor. There's not a whole lot of floor problems back on this side. I haven't decided if I'm gonna cut that whole floor out and replace it like I did this side. No, those aren't welded in yet, but you know, they're ready to go. Just a matter of getting them in here and welding them in place. Yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on around here. Haven't done a whole lot. Yeah, pretty much there ain't a whole lot going on. It's finally gotten cold. I like that a little bit until I get too cold, and then I'm not gonna like that. Tractor's running fine since I cleaned out the gas tank. And yeah, I'm guessing that's about all that I've done, man. I really haven't gone anywhere, done anything. I did get one new toy. Ah, new guitar, gotta play and be a rock star. Anyway, got a new guitar, and I bought that because I want to paint that. That was actually really cheap. 159 bucks. And what I plan on doing with it is we're gonna disassemble the whole thing and we're gonna paint that really heavy gold metal flake, and then we're gonna put a bullseye on it just like the Zakk Wylde guitar. And that's what I plan on doing with that guitar. But right now we're just playing it. We'll get around to it. I went up to my property over the weekend, and one of my buddies has a friend that owns this, and it wouldn't run, and the intake valves were stuck open, and I had to clean them out. Got it running. Deal was, I get it running, I could use it. Took it up to my property and leg it and mowed the yard, which I haven't been up there since I dropped off that lawnmower, if y'all remember that little video. And when I got up there, I noticed the lawnmower is gone. And I mulched my property and got all the little stubs from where the Bobcat type skid steer type mulcher left stubs as tall as that tire, and I mulched all that down. It looks like a city park now. But one of the problems I found was that the front fascia of the building by the front porch where it's rotted out had twisted, and it may not even be there anymore after this last windstorm cool front that came through. So I'm going up there on Saturday to try to do a little mending on that, and at the same time I am meeting the guy that's gonna jack the house up and get it level. We're gonna meet up there, and I'm gonna bring him a big wad of cash because I finally saved all my money. Spent a lot of money this year on old cars between the 54 and the, the 54, the 39, and buying interior parts for that Corvette. I had my credit card up to around $14,000. Yeah, maybe even a little higher than that. and got it down to 4,000 right now. So I'm almost done paying off my credit card, and that makes me happy. And so now I'm gonna unask some cash that I got, and I'm gonna get my house jacked up, and that way I can start doing repairs on the actual house and go from there and everything. But anyway, guys, that's what I've been doing. I haven't forgot about you. Just, you know, there ain't no hot rod stuff going on at the moment, so I didn't think maybe y'all want to hear my woes and bros and everything. But that's it. Y'all keep rocking and a rolling and a rolling and a rocking, and I'll see y'all up at Leggett on Saturday. Talk to y'all next time.